Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome back to my channel with me, Jasmine Azra Islami. It is such a blessing to see you guys again in my channel. If this is your first time watching my video, welcome and nice to see you. Today's discussion topic was taken from the latest issue in Indonesia when students can read but they don't understand. What is missing? Why do I have an interest to discussing about this issue? That's because I saw a data of 75% of Indonesian children cannot understand what is being read by them. So, we will discussing about this issue later deeply with my speakers. The first speaker is Tita Healthy Gemilang. Let's greet her. Hello.
Hello.
What should I call you?
You can just call me Tita,
So guys, here is our first speaker, Tita Healthy Gemilang as
a teacher in senior high school in Bogor.
Okay, I believe you are a professional speaker and teacher in this podcast. So that was our first speaker, Tita Healthy Gemilang, as a teacher, an English teacher in senior high school at Bogor. Now let's move on to the second speaker, Raisha Mutia Johari, as activist of literacy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today, Jasmine and Tita. My name is Raisha Mutejuhari. As a literacy activist, I often join reading programs with children and teenagers, especially in communities or area outside the city. In these programs, me and my team try to help young learners to reading, not just only finish a book, but to more understand about what they actually reading. And now I'm beyond happy to be here to have conversation with Jasmine and Tita because this topic is something I see a lot in my daily work.
Wow, today there are two speaker, a great speaker. And I would like to ask you a question, Raisa, related to your field as a literacy activist. What kind of books or texts do you usually like to read?
Yeah, I do love nonfiction or fiction, but for now, I really love self improvement, such as Atomic Habits by James Clear, and that currently in my list is the book that you wish your parents had read by Philippa Perry.
So you are read two books currently, Raisha. Okay, let's move on to Tita. How about you? Do you read a lot of books too?
Yes, I really enjoy reading books, especially fiction and educational materials, because I believe that readings helps me connect better with my students and stay updated with teaching's ideas.
Okay, so I have prepared 5 questions to get answered by you guys based on your perspective. Tita as an English teacher at senior high school and Raisha as literacy activist. But before I spill the tea, I would like to let you know guys that you can answer this question non-formally. Just chill and answer the question freely without forgetting the main point I have asked to you. Are you ready guys?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so the first questions I would like Tita to answer first. In your opinion, why did this phenomenon happen at school?
Okay, as a teachers, I can say this happened because our school system is still focuses more on reading fluently than comprehension. Many students are trained to read a lot, pronounce words correctly, and answer multiple choice question, but they are rarely guided to understand the deeper meaning of what they read. Teachers don't always have time to pause and let students explore the meaning behind text. In the end, students may read the words, but they don't connect with the message.
So, I can get that if teacher needs to give the students a space or more time for them to explore more and understanding deeper about the text, right?
Yes.
Okay. How about you, from your perspective as a literacy activist?
Yeah, this is something I see a lot. Because many students can read well, they can pronounce the words correctly, they read the text fluently. But when we ask question like, what does it mean from the text that they actually read, they get confused. Why? Because maybe reading in school is often about tasks. Students learn how to read out loud, how to answer the questions, how to get good scores, but they don't really know. They don't really learn how to think about what they actually read.
So, basically, students cannot understand because the parents or the teacher didn't give a more time for them to explore more and find the information about the text, right? So let's move on to the second questions. Can you share, Tita first, can you share a case related to this issue that you have faced at school?
Okay, yes, of course. One time I gave my 11th grade students short narrative text. After reading, I asked them what the moral value of the story, and most students only repeat parts of the story, and one of them said it's about a lost boy but didn't realize the deeper message about family communication. It showed me that while they could read fluently, but they didn't really reflect on what the story meant. That moment made me realize how serious the comprehension issue is.
Okay, so that's based on your experience at school. And now let's move on to Raisha's experience as the literacy activist.
Sure. In our program, one of our programs, we read folk stories with a group of children. At first, they were excited. They could read the sentence with no problems. But when I asked who are the main character from the story or what is the conflict of the story, only a few students can answer it. So we changed the activity to play simple games based on the story. Like we are role play as the main character or the supporting character. After that, we had small discussion, and suddenly they started to understand the story. Not just what happened, but why it is happened on that story. Uh, and from that conflict, from that activity, I realized that they no need more task. They need more interaction with the text. When read becomes more fun, become more meaningful for them, they will understand the text more deeply.
Okay, so based on your perspective, sorry, based on your answer, the alternative for students who or children who only read the surface of the text is by role playing a game. Sorry, give them a game to play so they can explore the text more fun and enjoyable, right? That's really a great questions. Let's move on to the third questions. In this case, does the environment and the people around have an impact on the students or children understandings? I would like Raisha to answer the third question first based on her perspective.
Yeah. The environment or maybe the social media, it's really affect them because many children don't see books at home, maybe because their parents not may not read. So or maybe they don't have time to read the children's story about the what they get from the book. So reading becomes more something for only school or maybe unfamiliar for them in real life. If children never heard a question like what do you think, or maybe like of some various question like stimulate their opinion, they won't learn to think deeply. And uh, for the social media it's really affect them because maybe children now use social media for scrolling, and they an effect from the scrolling is they they spend attention is getting lower than the previous. So they when they get uh, a textbook or something really longer than usual, they get confused. They really hard to focus. That's why we need to balance it. Digital media is not that bad, but we as a adults need children to make a time to slow down and think.
So, parents need to introduce and provide their children to a book or text.
Yeah.
So they will not be upset or amazed when the teacher is at school ask them to read a text, right? Okay, that's a great answer. Let's move on to teacher's perspective. From Tita, you can answer the question.
Yes, I'm agree with Raisa opinions. Students and environments plays big roles. Many of my students come from families where the reading a books is not habit. Books are not part of their daily lives, and discussion at home are rare. Some parents believe that learning only happens at school, so when children grow up in environments where they're not encouraged to ask questions or reflect, they don't develop strong comprehension skills. It's not just about schools. Home also plays a big part too.
So, the conclusion is the strategy to make children in Indonesia love books is by provide them and introduce them to a books or text since they were a little, right? So they will not get amazed or upset and feel difficult to comprehend the text or books given by the teacher at school. So and they can understand the information of the text deeper. Let's move on to the fourth questions. What step did you take while you were facing this issue? Tita, you can answer first.
Okay, as a teacher, in class, I changed the way I taught reading. Instead of just asking students to read and answer a simple question, I start to asking more open-ended question like, "Why do you think the characters did that?" Or "What would you do if you are the characters in the story?" I also created a group discussion so they could learn from each other's ideas. At first, maybe they were shy, but over time they become more confident and started to enjoy sharing their thoughts. Okay,
Done?
done.
That's a great answer from you
Yeah.
based on your perspective as a teacher. So, a teacher can provide students by giving them a interesting and engaging questions.
Yeah.
Not a usual question just ask about what is the title and so on. But instead of that question, the teacher can give students like what is the main character, who is the main character, and what if they were the main characters. That's engaging. That's awesome. So let's move on to Raisha's perspective. How about your opinion?
In my opinion, to get children's or teenagers' attention about reading more deeply, we need more strategy. Not only give them a text, but uh, how to engage them into this text. Because in my program, we do many things to make reading more fun and active and enjoyable. We don't just read; we also ask the questions, tell the story again with our own words, and make a group discussion with others. And for once a week, we also involve the parents to invite them to read with the children and talk about the story because we think that this strategy uh, will help build a reading environment, reading habit at home too, because the parents are involved too. Our goal is simple: to help students or young learners understand what they actually read and how to enjoy it. If they enjoy it, they will. If they enjoy it, they will one read more, and it if they read more, they will understand more.
Okay, so your program focus on how to engage parents to introduce a text to their children and how to make children love read since they were a little. Okay. So let's move on to the last but not least questions. What is your expectation of Indonesian students and children's reading comprehensions or literacy based on your perspective as teacher?
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. As a teachers, I hope Indonesian students will not just be good at reading a lot, but also at understanding and reflecting on what they read. I wish in our education system would focus more on critical thinking and less on memorization. I also hope parents and communities become more involved in building children's literacy. Reading should be something meaningful and enjoyable, not just something to pass a test.
Reading needs to be an activity that enjoyable and fun.
Yes.
Not a must. Not only a must or a pressure from the teacher.
Yes.
How about you, Raisa?
I really hope that we can focus more on the meaning, not just course. Literacy is not all about reading, but it's about thinking, feeling, and understanding. If you want students who can think for themselves, we have to support them, not only in school but also at home and in the community. So we need to build the environment to them to have a reading environment, and everyone has a role: parents, teachers, neighbors, even communities. We need to support them to read more deeply, not only just course. How about you?
Okay, I also do have an expectation for Indonesian students and children. I hope Indonesian students and children can improve their understandings while they are read a text or books. Also, the parents can grow children's love in reading a text or books. Okay. Wow, this is the most meaningful segment in my podcast I have ever done. Now I know both your perspective about illiteracy activity from your perspective as teacher and Raisha perspective as a literacy activist. I also expect students in Indonesia could improve their understandings of reading. So guys, that was all of our discussions for today. Thank you so much, Tita and Raisha, for attending this podcast. And yeah, thank you so much, and give us a new knowledges and informations about literacy. I hope this video could inspire and motivate you guys who watching this. Don't forget to leave a like, feedback at the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all from us. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
See you.